How you doing, everyone? It is Arden, the crotchety old man, getting a little old-fashioned crazy frog out of it's it's Crazy Frog's funniest songs. I'm a big fan of Crazy Frog. There was one where he used to sing, not sing, but if you remember Axel F from Beverly Hills, what was it? Beverly Hills Cop. Beverly Hills Cop, the original. Dan, 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 dan. Well, there was a Crazy Frog does one. And it was my nieces and nephews' favorite song for about 20 minutes, where they made us sing it again and again and again. Anyway, so fun day at work today. Uh, a little crazy time. This new job, honestly, everyone should work retail, especially when you are in your 50s and you get to just hang out and talk with people all day. In fact, one of the managers actually said, Arden, you actually excel at talking to people. You are really, really damn good at what you do. That was today. They said, "Do you want to work the cash register?" And another manager said, "No, we need him out there talking to people because he's funny." In fact, yesterday, this woman and my manager came over. I'm literally just like cleaning up a little, and the manager says, Arden, this woman has something to say, and she goes, I've been coming to this store for years because you guys are so good, but you are the funniest, nicest, best salesperson I've ever had. She said, I was listening to you talk to people and I was laughing. I was actually in another aisle laughing, hearing all your jokes. And I was like, wow. And the manager looked at me and I was like, yeah, it's fun. It's just fun. I mean, I'm the guy who I'm hanging Indian rugs, and I'm actually having a good time doing it. And today, one gentleman falls asleep on a couch. He's out. He's snoring away, and we left him there. No one, we didn't know what to do, so he's like almost drooling for an hour and a half. His wife was shopping, and we just let him sleep. All the other customers are looking at him, and we're just like, yeah, he's tired. So, and then he sees me later and he goes, I apologize for falling asleep. I was like, well, give us a great review because you must really like those couches. It worked great. So anyway, I was that was a great day, fun day today at work, and I just thought everyone should have good, fun days at work. It makes life a lot better. It's worth going. Like I actually enjoy going to work because it's great. So here's a question. So as you know, I'm trying to follow the Atlas meteor comet asteroid, and on December 4th, we are going to. It'll be finally within pretty much every one of our telescope lenses, all of the big ones, all over the world. And so we'll actually know for sure if it's going to just simply go out to space and disappear and just literally be a nerd nothing. Or does it head to Earth? Now, I know I was talking about this before, and it would be like, what if? And I actually did talk to a bunch of people, and they said, a lot of people just like they would like it, and if it's heading towards Earth directly, and we're all going to die, maybe if we had 24-hour notice, wouldn't be that bad. And of course, now all these people are roughly my age, or all in their 50s, so they're like, yeah, we've had our life, we're good. um, and at the same time, a bunch of were like, no, I don't want to know. If it hits, I'd rather just hit. But then I said, well, what if they're like extraterrestrials on there, or what if it's a message from another galaxy? And surprisingly, I didn't think about this, but one of my buddies actually goes, wow, you're extraterrestrials. Now, of course, they're going to reach out to the most powerful country on earth. Donald Trump would be literally the spokesperson for the world, for the entire world. Donald Trump. Can you imagine that? Like 500 years from now, when history is being written, Donald Trump would be the man who actually was the person who the aliens had to speak with. Take us to your leader. And it's Donald Trump. Ah, that would be awesome. I mean, it would only be better if it was me, because I am so great. Ego. I'm have a sip of coffee. Basement coffee. What's going? I'm going with the Entermans again. I liked it. French vanilla. Mm, not bad at all. Yeah. So if the aliens come down and Donald Trump is there, which by the way, here's an odd question. Hey, just slightly changing off course. Is the UN do anything anymore? Like I was just thinking about like all the things going on in the world. With we still got Russia and Ukraine going on. We still have problems in Gaza. All the we still have problems, and yet the UN does nothing. Are we even still paying for that? I mean, like, are we still paying? What was it? Half of what the UN it costs. The U.S. is paying for. Like, why? They're not doing anything. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. They do every once in a while. They put their little blue helmets on and they come after the what's needed, and they're supposed to like, I don't know. I just can we get rid of them? Just can we doge them? And we need to bring back Doge because after the shutdown finally ended, yeah, and Chuck Schumer looks like a dork. In fact, the Democrats all look like dorks at this point, but they're like, oh, well, we fought the fight. We fought it. Yes, and it was great. We got to get those subsidies for Obamacare. Obamacare's not failing. It's not. We need subsidies. Well, you wouldn't need subsidies if it was working well, dumbasses. But they had to make the effort. According to a couple Democrats, the Democrats didn't want to go on air, but they actually said, Chuck Schumer wanted to end it a long time ago, but he had to literally wanted to keep face for those who on the extreme left who really wanted to. They really wanted to, the socialist angry party. They wanted to keep going. What is wrong with these people? I mean, they're all about not hurting people, and then they hurt people. And I was talking to another one of my good buddies, and we were talking like about he's a CEO of he has his own company, not his own company, but he took over, and he's the CIO. I was like, do you have any non-essential employees at all? I mean, some places should have some non-essential. Non-essential would be like, when you're doing special, like if you're hiring people with special like disabilities or something, and they're getting the carts or something. That's awesome, by the way. That's something I have no problem with. But almost every company doesn't. Like they may have groups where if they're losing money, they may have to uh, tighten their belts and get rid of like the marketing department, or they have to get rid of like a couple personnel internally that are needed, but not like the sales guys or not like the processing people or the people who physically do work, like electricians or plumbers or things like that. Like those guys you can't get rid of, but maybe you get rid of the people in the administrative assistant, kind of people but you don't have non-essential people. So how does the government do this? I mean, trim the fat. It's not even trimming the fat, it's chopping the fat. Get that chainsaw back out there, Elon Musk. Chainsaw! Did you ever see that? That was embarrassing, by the way, when Elon Musk was running around with a chainsaw on stage. Just not a good look. But I kind of miss those days early on in the Trump administration. Um, which I'm gonna give Trump a grade in a few minutes. But so the Democrats have now gone back to the Epstein playbook because it does work. I mean, I don't know how many pundits were on TV even this morning. Today's Sunday, and Sunday the 16th, and even today the pundits were on there talking about Epstein and Trump. Like they're not talking about the shutdown. They know they effed up on the shutdown and they don't want to talk about it, so they bring up Epstein. That I hope backfires. I really, really hope Donald Trump just says, okay, let's release everything. Yeah, I want everything released. Um, I hope, and hopefully, I mean, I don't believe Trumpstein. Ooh, that was bad. If Trump actually, he's mentioned, of course he's mentioned, but when he threw Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, that was in 2006, and you have years later, some of these emails are from 2011, 5 years later, trying to pin it. There was three emails that the Democrats not, they didn't edit it, but they didn't hold the emails in complete context. They took off the one uh, victim's name. They blocked her out, but it was already announced. By the way, three emails in over 23,000 that were released. It just shows you like they're desperate to change like everything. And they really, really want to prove that Trump is guilty of molesting young girls. And you know what? Trump needs to let it all out. Now, I can only assume that there are really bad actors somewhere, some maybe like in the banking industry or something like on both sides, like politically, both sides. And I'm not going to throw any like bank people out or investing groups, but there's got to be some people behind the scenes. I mean, we're not talking about like Bill Clinton because we all know that, but who is it? Who are these people? And it's got to affect both sides. And I'm thinking maybe Trump and Epstein actually had mutual friends that were in this. All of these people do business together. So what if it was the head of blank banking core, one of the like some giant multinational, or if it's just any of these large investment groups, and you find out that their CEO, okay, their stocks bomb all of a sudden. What if it's like the head of a major oil company and the stock bombs? What if it's I'm not going to say like Amazon because that's one specific industry and we know who runs it, but Bezos. But like what if we can't have that obviously. So, but I don't think at this point it would do that much real damage. I mean, maybe a company's stock goes down for a little bit and then goes back up when the CEO leaves or something. I don't know. Anyway, but back to Trump, I just wanted to say, like, what is your review? So he hasn't even been in office for a year, but we just had, on the election, 1 year after the election, and what are the grades you would give him? I'm really trying to think. I'm thinking maybe a B, B minus. Now, people are like, oh my God, you would think I would give him an A. No, um, uh, he definitely gets an A plus on the border easily. I mean, that was amazing. I mean, once again, reminding everyone that remember Joe Biden's like his plan, the bipartisan plan, would it was still letting in like 10,000 people a day, and he said, "Oh, Congress, I mean, I don't have the power. Congress is the only." Trump was like, "Nope, got her done it, got her done," and so he gets it done, no problem with it, just that simple. So for that, he gets an A, A plus. He did promise, obviously, ending the main two wars, but he still ended eight others or smaller wars. You could definitely see the man is putting the effort in. I mean, he's working his ass off. But the economy, the economy, honestly, in retrospect, compared to the Biden economy, it's doing okay. It's doing okay. Affordability is now the buzzword. Affordability. We got to make everything affordable. Affordable. It's like the Democrats who keep talking about this forget what it was like when inflation was up to 10% because of all the spending they did. Like they kind of forgot about that. And now we're hearing about mortgage rates. How now the first time home buyers are 40 years old. Okay, I get it. It's still expensive out there. I am actually shopping now at Walmart to buy things that are cheaper. By the way, a lot cheaper. I mean, I'm not a fan of Walmart, but at the same time, damn, I go there all. I went there again, today, to buy food, and I'm just shocked. I mean, like they have like V name brands that I was paying like $2 or $3 more for the same thing. I'm like, wow, how is this even possible? But anyway, like affordability, I'll give them a C plus for now. Like I was hoping prices would be plummeting at this point. Gas prices are down. And in Northern Virginia, it was 2.99 a gallon today. I mean, that's compared to, I remember seeing it in the fours and threes and fours, but it has gone down great. But we need to get our prices down. I know it takes time. It takes the whole process takes time, but the Democrats have been talking affordability, and I now know that Trump is talking affordability. He's talking about this. I actually talked to my brother because I didn't understand like the 50-year mortgage that he's popping up, and now I heard a new one about transferring your mortgage. That if you got a interest rate of like 2 or 3%, that you can buy now a bigger house, and somehow you keep that 2 or 3%. So they're trying to come up with ideas, to help, people. Now I had to ask my brother because I think in like some European countries, especially England, they have like 100-year mortgages where like your family and takes over for the mortgage. And I'm thinking, hey, I'm 50 years old. Well, actually 55. So I'm 55 years old. I'm like, 50-year mortgage? Huh. Yeah. And okay, yeah, I wouldn't have equity, but I would be paying a lot less for a house for a long. So if I'm renting, an apartment, why not get a mortgage and have a whole house? Hmm. I mean, yeah, of course, you get all that comes with it, having all the, insurance and, upkeep, blah, 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 blah. But it still might be a hell of a lot better than renting a lot. So that just popped into my head. And, I think Trump's doing his best. I think that he's really trying hard to end things and fix things, and we are going to have to give it time. But I would like to see him go out. I want to just send the message. Go to every single state. Go in the deep blue areas. Hold mini rallies. Not big giant rallies, but have people come in. Have meetings. Have your vice president, JD Vance. Have everyone, Rubio, everyone go to small events. Bring them, not just fundraisers. I'm not talking about just getting Republican. I want them to go out and bring, some people on the left in. Spread the word. I mean, the left is going to be nuts no matter what. People like Gavin Newsom and Swalwell, who, by the way, getting into trouble again. But like Gavin Newsom still talking about that they're the tip of the spear in climate activism. Shut up. You didn't help people with the wildfires. You're now rezoning areas so people can't rebuild some of their homes. I'm sorry, what a dick. And he thinks he's going to be president. Get out of here, Gavin Newsom. But, there are a lot of people who are left leaning. How about that? Democrats, not ultra libs who are pains in the asses. Have them come out. Just anyway. So here's also a little on the political scale. I was talking about sports today. I'm flipping through YouTube TV this morning, and I saw there was a football game in Madrid, Spain. The NFL had the Miami Dolphins versus the Washington Commanders, formerly the Redskins, and they have like their end zones. The NFL still, you're in another country, and in your end zone it still says "end racism." Is there racism in Madrid, Spain? I don't know. So I don't want to sound I'm naive on this subject, but yes, they were trying to show this to the people of the United States who are watching the game. But what about the people in Madrid itself? The actual host country. Why would you put end racism in there? It's God. I hate sports when they do this. As soon as I saw it, I just turned it off. I think I was flipping just because there was a commercial on what I was watching, and just I'd rather watch nothing, just absolutely nothing, and drink my coffee and just sit there with a blank TV than watch the stupid things. But if have any baseball fans out there, I know Alfred and his wife, Mrs. Alfred, they are huge baseball fans, and Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani won the MVPs of Major League Baseball. Now, it was a very close voting, at least in the American League, where Judge did win. Um, and it sadly, though, is going back over 10 years now. Whoever in either league has the highest WAR, which is wins above replacement. I'm not even going to talk about it. Who has the highest WAR wins the MVP. So what's the point of voting? I mean, the writers are just simply giving it to the guy with the highest WAR always wins. I mean, it's been going on for years. I mean, at least it was, the Dodgers didn't win the World Series for Ohtani, and Judge at least he made the playoffs. So I mean, like at least he deserved, he did deserve it, but it's just annoying. So that's really much going on, and something absolutely useless popped into my mind today. I was driving to work and I grabbed a pear, fruit. The pear gets no respect. I don't know why I'm bringing this up now. I just just thought about this useless thought. But like almost every other fruit, like you can make like a pie or cake or something with. Does pear have anything? Like pear pie? Hmm. I just not hair pie, Daniel, but a pear pie or a pear upside down pineapple cake. What like why are pears like they're basically apples? But like, have you ever had like any kind of like pear treat, chocolate covered pears? Anything. So and alcohol, pears. I mean, I've had pear wine once, but I don't drink anymore. But is there anything with pears? Useless question. So anyway, let's see. What else did I have going on? I talked about Epstein. Work was good. The Atlas thing. Oh yeah. What else is new? Pennies. This we were talking about at work today. So now that the last set of 2005 pennies are printing in Philadelphia, at one point now they're the the people who were in charge of the currency said, "Oh well, there is enough pennies in circulation." Um, a lot of people we're running low on pennies now. Very rarely do you handle cash. Um, I think this past weekend, I think I had handled cash like four times. I wasn't a cashier most of the time, but four times the whole 2 days. But like the penny being gone, like eventually, at some point, and who makes this decision that we round up or down? And how does that work with like interest? Because does interest automatically then going to start rounding up or down? The penny being gone, I mean, as much as people don't use it. And their reasoning for the penny is they said it's not really of use and it costs too much to make. It costs roughly 5 cents to make a penny. But a nickel actually costs 26 cents to make a nickel. Um, do we then get rid of nickels? By the way, quarters and dimes actually are cheaper. They all cost less, a little bit more than a penny, about like 5, 6 cents. But the nickel actually costs 26 cents to make. So is it time to get rid of the nickel? Is it time to get rid? Now we like Canada and get rid of the paper dollar or the paper. They I don't know if they ever had a $2 bill, but they now have what are called loons and tunes, and not Looney Tunes. The loon is basically a dollar piece of change, and the tune was a $2 piece of is a coin, which makes carrying coins a lot harder. But that can't be cheaper than making a dollar bill. Yeah. So what are your thoughts about pennies being gone? I mean, when Alfred comes to my apartment, he always or house wherever I've lived, he always will like when he leaves, he always like leaves his change, whatever he has in his pocket. I feel like the maid when you go to a hotel and you leave like your change and maybe a few bills. So he's always so. But like, how many like we're gonna get rid of the penny? No, I mean, I understand getting rid of it, but at the same time, I mean, isn't it critical to have? I mean, I guess not. I guess you do round up, and I know we use everything electronically, but you go in and you never remember gumball machines that had pennies. Now they're almost all a quarter. But like, man, bring back the penny. Don't get rid of it. It's a bad thing. Bring back the $2 bill too. I mean, I have a couple of them. Thomas Jefferson's on the front. and signing of the Declaration of Independence is on the back. So I think it's the only bill that didn't have a building on it. I think that was like the weird trivia about the $2 bill. Anyway, so that's really all I got for you today. It's been another exciting week of work, fun, 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 getting out of the house. Um, yeah, so we're getting closer to Thanksgiving. Uh, I'll be Thanksgiving is actually going to be at my brother's house this year. That's going to be fun for the first time. It'll be at his house. And what else is going on? Yeah, so I'm going to be working for the first time on Friday. Yep, I'm going to be working Black Friday in a store. That should be fun. Ugh. And then all weekend. So um, it's been an absolute pleasure. Feel free, if you have any questions, comments, you could write back to us. I saw that we're still doing pretty well all over the world. People are just interested in hearing just kind of just an average guy saying average things, being slightly knowledgeable, but explaining. And I'm surprised how many people just don't pay attention to anything. That was another thing at work. And how many times can I say goodbye? But at work, I work with a bunch of adults as well, and they're clueless. They are none of them voted. None. I was the only one. I mean, they're like, well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know who was running, and I don't really follow politics. I'm like, do you pay taxes? Are you worried? Are things costing you too much? Are they costing you too little? Do you think the government should do more? Should they do less? And I do, by the way, even though you can obviously tell I lean ultra conservative, and I do say ultra because there's the moderate conservatives, and then there's people who are in the middle who are true moderates. I lean very heavily conservative, conservative first, Republican second. And it's interesting when I try to explain it. I do my best I say, look, I have my own personal opinions, but here is what I would say to a person down the middle. I try to be down the middle but say, here's this issue and here's this issue, and I will say I lean one way, but I like to give the person in the middle. Many, many years ago, I actually took a test, and it actually like will ask you questions, and there was a scale, and the scale actually would go up or down depending on how you answer the questions. And it was a whole thing. It was like, but it was more nuanced than just simply gun control, or it was actually like deeper questions. And I did scale out of a possible 10, which was ultra conservative. 0 was ultra socialist. Actually, it actually said socialism, communism, and I actually was an 8 on the conservative side. So that's kind of how I understand it. I was surprised I wasn't a 7 originally, but yeah, it's good to try. Figure out what are your issues. Like, where do you take a stand? What do you don't care about? You know, things you may find very important when you're younger, or vice versa. Things you don't give a damn when you were younger that you really are understand. That's how I was actually on gun control. I actually, and I say gun control because they want to. I am totally pro Second Amendment. I was not that when I was living up in New Jersey because we didn't even think about it when we were up there. You just don't want to. No one owned guns at all, and there was crime. There was the, but we just didn't know. Down here, I understand the whole. Got the hunters, and I understand protection. Got older, start seeing more stuff. That felt good to get off my chest. Just a little vent, a little 2-second vent that I did. And yeah, so feel free, reach out. I'll talk to you. Hey, if you want, I'll put you on my show. You can hang out with me. I could be just you and I can have a conversation. I don't care if you lean left, lean right, lean middle. If you lean because you only have one leg, and your name's Eileen. Wow, that's a really bad joke. Anyway, so let me get a little more crazy frog and say thank you. Feel free to reach out to us on Buzzsprout. Like, subscribe if you really want. And on YouTube, YouTube the other day we had like 14 hits on YouTube. I know that sounds very small, but considering I'm like it's surprising. Like I don't know why people were on YouTube watching our show, but it's just me. But anyway, have a wonderful night. and I will talk to you later. Have a good one.